Hello, it's Reija and welcome to another video. Today we are going to do the I dare you tag, and I was tagged by SILVIA K a couple of weeks ago, and I will link her video down below so you can check it out. And I will also be tagging 4 people to do this tag, and let's just get the tagging out of the way right now. So I will be tagging Anita Lind, Abigail D, Linnea from Linnea RobotMariaReviews, and Stephanie from Wicked Junior 89. So you're all tagged and I hope I will see your videos very soon. Okay, now on to the questions. Question number 1. What book has been on your shelf the longest? And for this I have to go with Tirlittan by Oiva Paloheimo. This is a very old children's classic, and it is a story about a girl whose family gets blown away by a tornado and she has to go find them, and in the process of trying to find her family she ends up in all these kinds of adventures, from going to prison and stuff like that. It is very funny and it is mostly told in verse. I got this when I was 10 years old from my godparents, so this is 20 years old. Question number 2. What is your current read, your last read, and the book you'll read next? My current read is Obelisk Gate by N.K. Jemisin, and my last read was the predecessor of Obelisk Gate, the 5th season, and the next book I am going to read is probably going to be The Light Fantastic by Terry Pratchett. Question number 3. What book did everyone like but you hated? And for this, I will have to go with Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I absolutely hated that book. I like the TV adaptation, funnily enough, but the book is just... It just... everything about it rubs me the wrong way. I had to force myself to read it, and a lot of my friends have read the whole series and they love it to death, and I've read the first 2 books and I did not like either of them. I have a hard time getting into historical fiction in general. I don't know, it's just... Outlander is just too soapy for me. It reads like something my mom would read, you know. So, yeah, nope. Question number 4. What book do you keep telling yourself you'll read, but you probably won't? This is probably going to be The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo. I have that book on my shelf. It has been on my shelf for many, many years, and I've told myself numerous times that I will read it. And I actually really liked Les Mis by Victor Hugo. I've seen so many adaptations of The Hunchback of Notre Dame that I think that is probably the reason why I'm not so enthused about reading it, because I kind of know the story already. But that shouldn't be an issue, because I know that if I read the book I would gain so much more insight into it, but I don't know. It's just one of those books that's probably going to be on my TBR until the day I die. Question number 5. What book are you saving for retirement? As I said, probably The Hunchback of Notre Dame, but I think the books that I'll end up reading during my retirement will be the ones that I have been the least excited for now. So I will probably end up piling the less exciting books onto my TBR pile as they come, and then when I'm old and decrepit and retired I will be bitter because I have to read subpar books. Maybe it will go that way. Or then again, maybe I will just not read those books and I will be content reading the new releases. I don't stress about that at all. It is one of the rare things that I don't actually have stress about. Question number 6. Last page, read it first or wait till the end? Wait till the end? I've been known to skip a few pages ahead if I'm having a hard time getting into a book, but usually I see no point reading the last page because you have no context. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems pointless to me, so I never do that. Question number 7. Acknowledgement, waste of paper and ink or interesting aside? I don't actually usually read acknowledgements. I want the book to stand by its own merits. I kind of have the same thing with actors, that I try not to find too many close details about any actor that I like, because I think that may actually cloud my judgment of their actual work. If I'm like, oh, but but they are such a nice person, or they are such a bad person, or something like that. So that's why I tend not to find too much about any author aside from their like bio that they have in the dust jacket or something. With the exceptions of George R.R. Martin and Ellen Kushner, whom I have to admit that I may be kind of a stalker at this point because I follow their blog so closely and comment and everything. So, usually I don't read acknowledgements. Question number 8. Which book character would you switch places with? I would have to say Catherine from Privilege of the Sword by Ellen Kushner. I think she has a pretty marvelous gig. She is rich, she is a noble, and she gets to practice sword fighting and be awesome and rule a duchy. Like, who wouldn't want that? Question number 9. Do you have a book that reminds you of something specific in your life, place, time, person? I would have to go with Sarah Monet's The Doctrine of Labyrinth series, because I read those books when I was just finishing high school. I read the first 2 books, and then I followed up with the series and everything. And I think those books really meant a lot to me because they were really the first touch I had with LGBTQ characters. You could argue a lot about whether the books have good representation or anything, but for me those books were really important because I got to see myself in them when I really was struggling with my own identity. That's why I have to go with those books, and I have reread them a bunch of times afterwards. Along with Ellen Kushner's Riverside series, they are probably the books that have had the most impact on me during my teen years. Question number 10. Name a book that you acquired in an interesting way. For this, I will go with The Color Purple. I received it from my friend, and I am probably at least the 3rd owner, though we don't know. My friend found it on a bus, and she took it home, read it, and then liked it and decided that, okay, she will give it to me. I took it. I will probably be reading it in the next few months, and then I will probably pass it on and keep the circle going. So it's the circle of finding an interesting book and enjoying it. Question number 11. Have you ever given a book away for a special reason to a special person? Yes, I have, though the special reason is not so special. I gave Lies of Locke Lamora to my friend and Soulless to my other friend because I just wanted to have someone gush about the books with. Yeah, that was the reason. Nothing more special than that. Question number 12. Which book has been with you most places? I think I have not on-hauled a single book in like 5 years or so. So I really think that most of my books have been with me through everything, like every move. But I think I will have to go again with Tirlittan by Oiva Paloheimo because this book has been with me for 20 years and it is my oldest book, so obviously it has been through a lot with me. Question number 13. Any required reading you hated in high school that wasn't so bad 2 years later? No, not really. I've talked about The Unknown Soldier at length in a previous video. And aside from that, we had to read a lot of S.A. Hinton, like Outsiders and stuff like that. And I did not care for them then, and I have no interest in reading them again. So, yeah, not really a fan of any of the required reading we had to do in high school. Question number 14. Used or brand new? Brand new, preferably. Like, I just like the smell of new books. There's just something wonderful about picking up a new book and being excited about a new release and stuff. I have bought used books and I have no problem with used books, but brand new is definitely my preference because I'm shallow that way. Question number 15. Have you ever read a Dan Brown book? Nope, don't plan to. I have actually zero interest in reading any Dan Brown. Question number 16. Have you ever seen a movie you liked more than the book? Interview with the Vampire. I really like that movie a lot more than the book, and I have to say that it's probably the best Tom Cruise movie I have ever seen. Question number 17. Have you ever read a book that's made you hungry, cookbooks included? Most likely Harry Potter's, and the Moomin books because they have so many food scenes in them. But usually any book that has a really well written dinner scene or like really lavish descriptions of food, I'm looking at you, George R.R. Martin, they tend to make me salivate a little, yes. Question number 18. Who is the person whose book advice you'll always take? I assume this is talking about a real life person and not fictional person. I think I'm gonna go with in real life person. My friend Luna is amazing. We have very similar reading tastes and she is very blunt with her opinions. So usually if she doesn't like a book and tells me so, I tend to get a bit apprehensive about reading that book myself. I usually do read them, but I do tend to be a bit more skeptical because we have such similar reading tastes that I can pretty much trust her with any book recommendation that she gives me. And finally, the last question, question number 19. Is there a book out of your comfort zone, outside your usual reading genre, that you ended up loving? I really liked Victor Hugo's Les Miserables. I think it is a fantastic book. It has very vivid and beautiful social commentary. I really love it. As much as anyone can love and enjoy Victor Hugo's Les Mis, which has really vivid depictions of depression and poverty and just really awful people, and how good people get backstabbed by bad people and how nobody's ever happy. As much as you can enjoy reading about that, then yes, I have really enjoyed that book. And it's historical fiction, which is definitely not a genre I usually enjoy because I tend to go for fantasy in most cases. But yeah, Victor Hugo's Les Mis is one of my all-time favorite books. So that's definitely one that was not on my comfort zone. Yeah, those were the questions, and thank you for sticking with me until the end. If you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!